good afternoon, people. Good afternoon. I have this hot on, like I have baked. I have on me hot. It's what's today? Monday, September 16th. My daddy's birthday. Rest well, Papi in heaven. I don't know what I'm gonna label this yet, but I thought I'd reach out to everyone, being that I am hoping to switch the camera. Oh, I'll just turn it around. Getting some relaxation and sun for now. Currently have the pool completely to myself, and I thought I'd record something for y'all. But I have a few. I feel like I lost out on giving y'all messages for a few days, and when I was in Connecticut. So hello people, hello people. So I was reading Our Daily Bread, and it directed me one place. So I'm going to give you a lot of messages. I want people to subscribe, like, and share with your friends, like the Ghetto Nun says. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. I also have my motivational cards here. They're just cards with different motivation, no quotes. And I thought I'd, how everyone does tarot, I thought I'd just shuffle and see what messages come out today for people. Some empowerment, since look, I ain't even finished, and something came out. It says most people are as happy as they make up their minds to be. So it's gonna be all backwards, but y'all smart, y'all can figure it out. In the back of the card is little sunset at the beach or sun. So most people are about as happy as they make their minds up to be. I'll do 3 of these. So motivation: decide to be happy. Live your life as if, and I'm sure you will be happy. Do what you want. A lot of people don't ask themselves what they like and what they want for their lives. Wants it? No. So I thought I'd do a few, even if it's a longer message and it has like a lot of messages in, just because it's my daddy's birthday and I didn't want to get emotional today. So I thought I'd protect my face because I'm getting facial treatments. And they said I'm getting too dark, so I want to make sure I don't. Got my hair in a bun. And I'm just trying to enjoy the vitamin D out here. Once I get in that pool, it's going to be a wrap. So let's see what else comes out. And I remember I was reading a suggested book from my friend Mr. Mwawuli in Ghana. It was Purpose Driven Life. Forget the author at this moment. But the heart of worship is surrender. Surrender your whole being to him to be used for righteous purposes. Romans 6:13. Surrender is best demonstrated in obedience and trust. Trust in the Lord, obedience, following what the word says. Don't know the word, you'll have people to guide you. God will place them. Self-centered ways need to stop. My wants, pleasures are not important. Sacrifice my pleasures. So when I read the book, I was taking notes. So I said I'm going to make sure I do that for every chapter and what I got from them. So most of the time, I sacrifice my pleasures. And then this time around, although I've sacrificed and I've given my time to other people and I've done the divine feminine thing to do, I thought today I'd enjoy a pleasure of mine, which is swimming. And you guys see me do that a lot on my Facebook. So let me just get to this. So that's the heart of worship is surrender. Surrender your whole being to him to be used for his righteous purposes. Surrender is best demonstrated in obedience and trust. Self-centered ways need to stop. So most of the time I'm giving up my time. 24 hours a day, I give 18 of it to work and helping others with intellectual disabilities. So I surrender my time to my mama, who always needs my assistance in some way, shape, or form. So this morning, after I finish a little joyous worship as a morning routine, listening to gospel, I made her some coffee, toast, boil some healthy boiled eggs, trying to help her out. Oh, nothing's coming out. I can't be a tarot reader because nothing's coming out. Okay, let's see. What message do you have to empower the people today? What do you want to come out? Okay, see that? I don't know. I'm grabbing these. So back to the sacrifice my pleasure. So at times I sacrifice my time. Time is pleasure to me. And surrender your whole being to him and be used for his righteous purposes. So, obviously the work I choose to do and the purpose of making sure my mama is comfortable is pleasing to the Lord. So these three came out. I said I would only pick three, but three came out. Four came out. If there were nothing wrong in the world, there wouldn't be anything for us to do. If there were nothing wrong in the world, there wouldn't be anything for us to do. Very true. Most of us have jobs, like I just mentioned, that help other people intellectually disabled. So if there was no intellectually disabled people, I would not have a job out here in the South. With our thoughts, we make the world. So yes, what we think we become. Little path. What we think we become. With our thoughts, we make the world. If there were nothing in the world, there wouldn't be anything for us to do. Most people are as happy as they make their minds up to be. This is a good one. I get it all the time. You can't build a reputation on what you're going to do. Create. You cannot build a reputation on what you're going to do. You have to actually decide to do it and put an action behind it. Isn't that something? So, a few things y'all can look back on. I always get that one. So we always say we're going to do something, and then we lose sight of what it is that we want to do, and we just don't actually follow through with it, Procrastinating. I think I said that before. We are procrastinating people. I have a few things I need to do that I procrastinated on that I will get to. I talked about self-centered ways need to stop. So loving our people comes first, and then now that I've finished that, I get to go swimming. But before that, I need to share what I'm learning. So I'm doing that too. Sacrifice my pleasures. So at times I do, and then sometimes it's healthy to make sure, it is very healthy to make sure you have time to do what you want to do. If not, you will go insane in this rigmarole of a world. So when I read the Daily Bread, hold on, let me just get to that in a minute. When I read today, September 16th, in the Each Day a New Beginning Al-Anon, it says, I long to speak out the intense inspiration that comes to me from lives of strong women. Ruth Benedict. Each day that we thoughtfully make choices about our behavior and our attitudes, we offer ourselves as examples to others, examples of strength. Like me making this channel and looking ridiculous doing it. The point is for you to get the message that comes across, not worrying about what I'm looking like. But I do look kind of hillbilly-ish crazy right now, but it's okay because I am loved. Each day, I'm going to read again, that we thoughtfully make choices about our behavior and our attitudes. We offer ourselves as examples to others, examples of strength. As women of recovery, on recovery paths, or just on a regular path, we find encouragement for one another's success. No one of us met our experiences very successfully before discovering ourselves. In most cases, we lack the structure that comes with the steps, or of taking care of yourself. There has to be a holistic approach, balance in your life, having healthy relationships, blase. We'll talk about that structure soon too. Too often we've passively bounced from man to man, or job to job, drunk to drunk, substance to substance, attaching ourselves to people, food, places, and work environments. When working on ourselves, we are never in doubt about the manner for proceeding in any situation. Steps provide the parameters that secure our growth. They help us to see where we've been and push us towards the goals which crowd our dreams. We have changed. We will continue to grow. The past need not haunt us anymore. The future can be faced with confidence. Whatever strength is needed to fulfill our destinies will find us, and our forward steps will make the way easier for the women who follow. So this is why I chose to do this. So at least I can leave some kind of imprint for my grandbabies to watch, my friends, my family, and see the growth that I've gone through. What a blessing that we have this structure and the steps. They answer my question. They fulfill my every need. And I'm saying, in this sense, I think God fulfills my every need. He provides every instruction I may need. Of course, all these other little cards and gadgets and things like that to help guide me and receive his message, of course, in prayer. So I'm going to read today's is Proverbs 26, 4 to 12. And Proverbs 26, 4 to 12 says, like snow in the summer on rain and harvest, honor is not fitting for a fool. Like a fluttering sparrow. This is Proverbs 26, 1. No, yeah. Like a sparrow or a darting swallow. An undeserved curse does not come to rest. I'm going to read that again. Like snow in the summer or rain in harvest. Honor is not fitting for a fool. Like a fluttering sparrow or darting swallow, an undeserved curse does not come to rest. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the donkey, and a rod for the backs of fools. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you yourself will be just like him. Don't be easily swayed by people's words. Don't give in to that negative energy. This says 4 through 12. So 4 is, do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you yourself will be just like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, or he will be wise in his own eyes. Through 12. Sending a message by the hands of a fool is like cutting off one's feet or drinking poison. Like the useless legs of one who is lame is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. Like trying a stone in a sling is the giving of honor to a fool. Like a thorn bush in a drunkard's hand is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. Like an archer who wounds at random is one who hires a fool or any passerby. As a dog returns to his vomit, so fools repeat their folly. Do you see a person wise in their own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for them. Okay, so we'll read, don't feed the trolls. And that was the point to today's message. Proverbs 26, 4 to 12. I hope it keeps going. Ever heard the expression, don't feed the trolls? Trolls refers to a new problem in today's digital world. Online users who repeatedly post intentionally inflammatory or hurtful comments on news or social media discussion boards, but ignoring such comments. So this is the example. Ignoring such comments, not feeding the trolls, makes it harder for them to derail a conversation. Of course, it's nothing new to encounter people who aren't genuinely interested in productive conversation. Don't feed the trolls. My mom always say, don't feed a dog because they'll keep coming back to your door wanting to get fed. Don't feed the trolls could almost be a modern equivalent of Proverbs 26:4, which warns that arguing with an arrogant, unreceptive person risks stooping to their level. And yet, even the most seemingly stubborn person is also a priceless image bearer of God. If we're quick to dismiss others, we may be the ones in danger of being arrogant and becoming unreceptive to God's grace. That might in part explain why Proverbs 26:5 offers the exact opposite guideline, because it takes a humble, prayerful dependence on God to discern how best to show others love in each situation. See Colossians 4, 5 through 6. Sometimes we speak up, other times it's best to be silent. I think I learned that in the past year, not to be reactive, to just sit. And just like a 2-year-old, like if you sit there and you entertain that when they have tantrums, they'll continue doing it because they know they can get a positive response off of negative action. Same with regular adult people or immature adult people. May we find peace in knowing that the same God who drew us near while we were still in hardened opposition to him, may we find in knowing that the same God who drew us near while we were in hardened opposition to him, Romans 5:6, is powerfully at work in each person's heart. Ask yourself, how have you witnessed very different approaches being used by God to touch others? How can you better speak the truth in love? Loving God, help me share your love with others around me. So it says something about 26, Proverbs 26:5. Answer a fool according to his folly, or he will be wise in his own eyes. It's like If you respond in kind to someone being negative towards you, or you entertain that, you're going to stoop to their level, or basically set that example or that standard for people to talk to you in that manner. That's what I get from it. And you know how many times we've been approached with different people in our lives that come at you sideways because they feel, the psychological point about it, because they feel if they put you down, then they feel better about themselves. But when you don't react to it with the same, like I did when I was 18, 18 to 20 something, with the same response or the same level, then that's how you turn the cheek or become better, or be the bigger person in most instances. Yesterday, this one mentioned, so it says, don't feed the trolls. Make the most of every opportunity. Let your conversation be always full of grace. So I think I said this in one of my other videos about if someone comes at you with a negative ball of energy, just say, I'm sorry you feel that way, and keep moving forward. Or, try to feed them life, or feed life into them, something positive. Sorry you feel that way. Peace be with you. And it's harder to be the bigger person. It's harder to turn the cheek. I know that. Yesterday's was talking about unity. Oh my God, I had a conversation today with someone, and I talked about unifying, being unified to be able to raise the vibration of people. I probably took the person left field, and they didn't know how to respond to that. We never know when it's going to happen, but I feel that that person has a strong message, and I talked about unity. So it says Proverbs 22 through 24. It's a good reference point to this that I'm going to talk about unity, and 2 Corinthians 8. So this one talks about Ephesians 4 1 through 6. Ephesians 4 1 through 6. So as a prisoner, the Bible says, the unity and maturity in the body of Christ. As a prisoner of the Lord, then I urge you to live. 4 1 through 6. Yeah, I urge you to live a worthy of the calling. As a prisoner for the Lord, then I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love, making every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. Oh, isn't that a beautiful thing? There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to one hope when you were called, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. The be all, I am, the God, the He is. But to each one of us, grace has been given as Christ appointed it. This is why it says, when He ascended on high, He took many captives and gave His gifts to the people. Unity and maturity in the body of Christ. We are all made up in the body of Christ. Unity. And this is the example of it. Ask yourself, how are you experiencing division or unity in your community of faith, or in your family, or in your household? What efforts can you make in God's strength to keep the unity of the Spirit? In 1722, a small group of Moravian Christians who lived in what is now the Czech Republic, Czech Republic, found a refuge from persecution on the estate of a generous German count. Within 4 years, more than 300 people came, but instead of an ideal community for persecuted refugees, the settlement became filled with discord. Different perspectives on Christianity brought division. What they did may seem like a small choice, but it launched an incredible revival. They began to focus on what they agreed on rather than on what they disagreed on. The result was unity. The Apostle Paul strongly encouraged the believers in the church in Ephesus, to live in unity, since sin would always bring trouble, selfish desires, and conflict in relationships. So sin would always bring trouble, selfish desires, and conflicts in relationships. But as those who were made alive in Christ, the Ephesians, were called to live out their new identity in practical ways. Primarily, they were to make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. This unity isn't just simple camaraderie achieved through human strength. We are to be completely humble and gentle, be patient, bearing with one another in love. From a human perspective, it is possible to It's impossible to act in this way. We can't, from a human perspective, it's impossible to act in this way. Not really, because I do it. We can't reach unity through our own power, but through God's perfect power that is at work within us. You're right. So without God, the God in me, the God's guidance, I would not be able to love. Without me striving for what God expects of us, I would not be able to love, as they're saying here, completely humble and gentle, patient, bearing with one another in love. Okay, we cannot reach unity through our own power, but through God's perfect power that is at work within us. How are you experiencing division in your community, or unity in your faith, in your community of faith, and or in your homes? What efforts can you make in God's strength to keep the unity of spirit? So I think, being mindful, like I said here, being mindful, surrender your whole being to Him to be used for His righteous purposes. Surrender is best demonstrated by obedience and trust. So be obedient to the word. Be obedient. If for those that don't know or have not read the Bible, it does tell us to love one another, love thy neighbor, love one another as we love ourselves. You know what I mean? So, of course, in order to love anybody else, you got to love yourself. And in order to love yourself and reach that point of self-love, you have to understand that God made you in His image, exactly how He wanted you to look or be. He made you. He created you. If you ain't gonna love yourself, if you're not gonna love yourself for anything else, love yourself enough to know that, at least use this as an example. Like, love yourself because God made you this way. As you guys can see, I am nice and round and plump, and there were times I've looked in the mirror and not recognized myself. But with this little spiritual journey I've been on, I have been able to love myself as I am, because I'm supposed to be this way. And then as I shed whatever layers I need to shed, I learn to love more of me. And I'm like, you know what? If I don't love me, nobody's gonna love me. God made me this way. How can I be insecure about that? No one else in this world is gonna be like G. No one else in this world is going to be like me. Can nobody love my daughter the way I do? Can nobody love my grandbabies the way I do, no matter who comes in their life? My mother, no one's gonna love her the way I do. My brothers, my sisters, my best friends, anyone who I encountered, no one's gonna love you the way Gigi does. Gigi loves you because she has Christ in her, because I am mindful of what God has bestowed, or get the gifts He has given me. Pure love, agape love. He has shown me how to love without criticism. To each his own. Everyone's gonna make decisions. We might not agree with everyone's decisions in our lives, but we can still love them beyond that. You know what I mean? Who wants to be judged? Imagine my mom saying, like my grandma used to say, I can't love you. She didn't say I can't love you, but you're fat, you're ugly. So I'm sure she probably didn't mean it in that sense. It's just try harder. And that time I was not fat. You know what I mean? And so you believe those things. But imagine her saying to me, I don't love you because you're that. No. I mean, of course, at times when you think someone is being very harsh with you with their words, then you think they don't love you because they're saying this. But some people mean well when they say things, they just don't know how to express it. So imagine me thinking that I was not loved all these years because I have flaws. We all came with flaws. We're not perfect. But anything where I lack in your eyesight, I make up with in love and personality and understanding and acceptance. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm babbling on about this, but I really wanted to touch base and just do all this. I didn't want to get emotional today. I'm gonna let y'all see my Spaniard look without the hat, because I am under an umbrella. Oh, yeah. So yeah, got the Spaniard look going on. But when I get in that water, I cannot get anything. So yeah, I'm accepting myself. I'm embracing my beauty. Can't nobody be like me. So embrace yourselves, love yourselves. Without, I use that God made me exactly who I am, just as an excuse to love myself. God loved us enough to give His only Son to forgive us for our sins. Shoot, the same people criticizing you because you're not meeting their expectations of what you're supposed to look like or how you are supposed to behave, those same people on the low love you. There's something about you that they love so much that they wish they could be like, so just back to what I was saying, because I'm rambling. I must miss talking to y'all. Self-love. In order to love, you have to love yourself. In order to be happy, you have to make your mind to be happy. Most people are about as happy as they make their minds up to be. If there was nothing wrong in this world, there wouldn't be anything for us to do. We would be boring. So accept each other, love each other. So if there wasn't ants are eating me away. If there wasn't addictions and things like that, then you wouldn't have anything to help anyone with. You know what a boring world this would be. That's why God allows certain things to happen. With our thoughts, we make the world. So manifest what you want. Know it, breathe it, be it, see it, live it. Okay? With our thoughts, we make up the world. So what we think, we are. You know, all that negative stuff that used to be told to me, I believed it. Now I'm like trying to reverse all that through God. And I can do all things through God, which strengthens me. You can't build a reputation on what you are going to do. How many years have I said I'm going to write my book? And then my friend told me that, what if someone doesn't have access to the book? So I think I'm going to start an audio for it. I can't build a reputation on what I'm going to do. I have to encourage and be, and not only lead by example through my story, but encourage as I'm trying to build it, as I'm trying to write it. I've been saying I'm going to do it. I've wrote rough drafts and never actually published it. So if there's a publisher out there that can assist me and get my book out, let me know. If there's someone that can direct me, let me know. You know, we procrastinate. We are procrastinating people. The word surrender, heart of worship, Romans 6:13. Surrender your whole being to Him to be used for righteous purposes. Surrender is best demonstrated in obedience and trust. Trust that the Lord is going to give you and provide everything that you need in life. Might not be what you want, but it's definitely what you need when you need it. And it comes right in, like swoop, right in the right time. Self-centered ways need to stop. My wants and pleasures are not important first. Sacrifice my pleasures. So there are times when I want to get a pedicure and someone calls me and says, oh, I need this, and I'll just look out for them. And then boom, out of nowhere, although I held back a little bit, and that's going to be a massage. You get the best massages when you get pedicures. That's the massage that I need at the time. God comes through, and I'm allowed with the grace of God to get 2 pedicures coming up in the next few weeks. So I'll get them twice instead of once. So, you know, sometimes the sacrifice is great. And I'm not saying only to do it for what you get from it, but there's always a reward. Even when you think there's not a reward for being obedient and trusting in the Lord, I am the example. I might not have all the material things in the world, but I don't need them. I might not have the model body, but I don't need it. You know what I mean? Imagine I'd be acting a whole fool if I had a model body, small waist, big booty, all that. I'd be acting a whole fool. I wouldn't know the discipline I know now. So trust in the Lord. He will provide everything you need, and be obedient. You know, at least look up the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not murder, and try to work towards that. Try to make the changes towards that. Today's thing on here, September 16th. My Virgo daddy, I miss you so much and I love you. And I feel you with me at all times. So I know my sister or someone else will watch this soon enough, and I wanted to add, you know, I know it's all irrelevant and I'm all over the place, but anybody who knows me knows I'm always all over the place. Daddy used to say follow your heart, but sometimes your heart and your mind have to match, or you have to use logic and reason as well. Follow your heart, your desires. You know why? Because God is love. God will humble you enough for you to guide you and follow your heart. When your heart is pure, you can follow your heart. You know what I mean? When you don't have no ill intentions toward anyone, follow your heart. It's okay. Daddy used to always, you know, this is what I want to say to my brothers, my sisters, anyone who's hurting, their family, Faye, all of them who have my dad touched their lives. What helps me cope is when you leave this earth, you are only leaving your body that turns to dust. From dust we have been made, and from dust we have come, and dust we will become again. You know what I mean? So it's all energy. You know, we are energy. What you remember with me, it's energy that I give off. It's the spirit, the soul. So this is my belief. This is what helps me get by. I believe that when my dad passed, he became energy. So even when I'm missing an individual that's still alive, I keep in mind that person's energy. My daughter, when I miss my grandbabies, I think back to a memory that made me laugh. or I think back to something that, the energy that they brought me, and I just remember that they are always with me. They can be that when they are in spirit, or when you remember a person's spirit, that person can be with you at all times. When you're missing someone, just that energy, bring in that energy, their energy, bring it in, feel it. Like, I have a spiritual connection with this one wonderful soul, and he is not passed away. Yeah, I'm kind of worried though. But what I tell myself, or I remind, just like my daddy, remind myself, is the energy, the way I feel when we're around each other, the happy memories, when we sing and we talk together, and then I remember those things, and I just keep telling myself, this person is always with me. This person is always with me. Like God. God is always with me. There isn't, I always visualize guardian angels around me, my family who have passed. When you see dragonflies, butterflies, you always see me distracted by it, because I feel like those are angels visiting. Their energy is always with you, and they can be at any place at any time. So whenever you're feeling like you're missing someone, just know they're always with you. That the way they made you feel stays with you. It's always with you. It doesn't go away. Energy is like electricity. It's long lasting. It stays. It remains. It is triggered by connection, energetic connection. You can feel it. You can feel love. What I was saying here, I long to speak out the intense inspiration that comes to me from lives of strong women. What a blessing, this structure that we have from God. They answer my question. They fulfill my every need. So, there are times we don't feel fulfilled, but we have guidance. We have God's guidance. You know what I mean? And the messages here, oh my God, that sounds like the end of the world. Like that movie, The World. The end of the world. That's just construction. Fluttering. Yes. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you yourself will be just like him. Do not stoop to the level. Do not stoop to someone else's level when they're coming at you with negative energy. Speak a kind word. Like I always say, smile at a stranger. You never know what someone is going through and why they're putting that energy off to you. And that was Proverbs 26, and then Ephesians 4. I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. So respond in kindness. Bear when people are negative to you, when people have addictions and they try to bring you into it, when people are wah 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 or just complaining. Sometimes they just need an ear. Bear with it in love. Respond in kindness. Be patient. Make every effort to keep unity in the spirit through the bond of peace. So, there are a lot of people who are not peaceful, who just like drama, and then they get bored when they're not excited by causing drama or being someone's issue, So remember to be obedient, trust in the Lord. Heart of worship is surrender. Be obedient and trust in the Lord. You can't build on reputation on what you're going to do. Just do it. Like Nike, I'm not promoting them though. With our thoughts, we make our world. What we think, we become. If there were nothing in the world wrong, there wouldn't be anything for us to do. Accept everyone, no matter what. I was talking about addictions, negativity responses. They said it in Ephesians, responding kind. There wouldn't be any work for us to do. This will be a boring world if we didn't have those negativities. We wouldn't have anything to learn. Okay? Most people are about as happy as they make their minds up to be. Make your mind up to be happy. Make your mind up to not respond to negativity. Make your mind up to trust in the Lord and be obedient. 10 Commandments. Happy birthday to my daddy. So I'm going to try to integrate all this. I know it's a lot of info, but it's all helped me be a better person. Putting in the effort, putting in the work, as I put it before. Putting in the work, putting in the effort to be a better individual. There's always good outcomes. It's a slow process at times, because what you invest in is what you get out. So if you're only investing a little time, you're going to get out a little bit at a time. Life. Everything's a process. Slow and steady wins the race. That's what I've been told. And I was talking about worship, and it says in the Bible that we should worship and sing sing to the Lord daily, every day. So this morning I could not get that song out of my head. I don't own rights to the music. I can't even sing it right at the can't be using that word. Nope, don't use it. I do not own rights to the music, but I will sing it the best I can. There you go. Example. I give myself away so you can use me. I give myself away. So I couldn't get that song out of my head. My life is not my own. To you I belong. I give myself to you. Not a good way to end it, but I just want to say ciao to everyone. Love, peace, smile at a stranger, like, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel. Let me turn around so y'all can see the pool. I am about to get in with my hat on. This hat, I'm about to get in the pool with this hat. All right, y'all. Thanks for your time. Like, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel. If I reach, I think 1,000 viewers, that will allow me to step up in this game. So we'll see what we can do. Peace. I love you all. I love you.